All right. So we have been here. This is on the Shock Exchange, of course. I'm gonna let the video upload right quick. Okay, I'm Shock Exchange, and this is Trump and the GE. Trump prosecutor Nathan Wade got himself a gun, right? And this is what my man looks like right here. I'm gonna share my screen right quick. Maybe not. Let's see. Let's see if I can find my man. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen right quick. Let's see if we can get a picture of this guy, Nathan Wade. Okay, it's a picture of Nathan Wade. This is the man of the hour. The man, everybody's talking about special prosecutor for former President Donald Trump in Georgia. He's been assigned by Fannie Willis, who's the district attorney. And you see him here. He's leaving a looks like he's leaving a law office, and he has a gun in his right hand. So um, looks pretty menacing. And Georgia's an open carry state. Who knows? He may need one given everybody who's looking for him or interested in him. He's definitely a person of interest. And as a lot of you know, former President Donald Trump is embattled right now. He's being investigated in several different states for various issues, tax evasion, business fraud, allegedly inciting an insurrection in Washington D.C., and for election interference in Georgia. And the Fulton District Attorney Fannie Willis has gotten a lot of publicity recently. She's investigating Trump and 18 code 18 well, 17 18 co-defendants for election interference. And pundits and experts tend to believe that this is the most maybe the most important case. It may be the case that has the most legs and the most credible case. And this case fall apart, it may have implications for the other cases. She's also investigating the rapper Young Thug and Young Slime Life YSL under RICO charges as well. So she's got a lot of publicity for that. And she's invoked this sort of RICO statute for election interference with former President Donald Trump and a bevy of other co-defendants, some who have already turned, um, who she's already turned. This is usually how these RICO cases work, where they turn the lower operatives to try to get to the big fish. And she's understands she's turned a couple other people who've already admitted to wrongdoing. Um, what set off a chain of events is that Michael Roman, one of Trump's co-defendants, his lawyer filed a motion earlier this week to get the case dismissed because of improprieties by Fannie Willis and Nathan Wade. He's alleging that she's carrying on a personal relationship with Mr. Wade that's inappropriate, a romantic relationship, and she has assigned the case to him. He's not really competent. He's a personal injury attorney, and now he's working on a federal case, a RICO case. He's never worked on a RICO case before, from what I understand, and that she's paid him about almost $1 million in legal fees. He's used those legal fees to wine and dine Ms. Willis and taking her on trips to Napa Valley, to Florida, and on cruises, so on and so forth. So it seems kind of bizarre that the most important case of Ms. Willis's career, the most high profile case on the planet right now, and she's entrusted it to someone who doesn't never tried a RICO case before, and someone who she has a romantic relationship with. Um, it gets more interesting in that he's also going through a divorce. I understand that he got divorced either right around the time, the day before, or the day after he was given this assignment. And the Jocelyn Wade, his soon-to-be ex-wife, has filed has subpoenaed Miss Willis in court. So that's getting very interesting as well. Also understand that those divorce proceedings have been sealed, which is odd. And so how Michael Roman's lawyer has gotten so much detail on all these charges, all these expenses, on the details on the trips and how much he spent on Miss Willis, where they went, the dates they went, how you got that information, who knows? I can only imagine, but I would guess that since this divorce looks to be contentious, there may be more evidence where that came from. So you got that going on, and it just optically it looks bad for her to be in a romantic relationship with someone she's assigned to prosecute former President Donald Trump, and she may have gotten benefits from the legal fees she's paid him, and that's it's all alleged, of course, and the legal statute is lack of honest services, where she's personally benefiting from the fees she's paying to the special prosecutor, where the fees come back to her in the form of lavish trips to Napa Valley, Florida, so on and so forth, and cruises. So Michael Roman is trying to get the case dismissed on that. There's also allegations that Mr. Wade has met with the Biden administration at some point to discuss this case. And, some people like former President Trump, of course, and the Republicans are wondering if this case is politically motivated. Do they have legitimate charges against Trump and these co-defendants, or is this an attempt for Biden to go after one of his political opponents, his main political opponent, and Donald Trump? So here's an article from New York Stock Exchange discussing the details of the allegations against Mr. Willis and Miss Willis and Mr. Wade. It says former Trump campaign official Michael Roman filed a motion accusing Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis of having an improper relationship with Trump Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade. District Attorney Fonnie Willis improperly hired an alleged romantic partner to prosecute Donald Trump and financially benefited from their relationship, according to a court motion filed Monday, which argued that criminal charges in the case were unconstitutional. The bombshell public filing alleged that Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade, a private attorney, paid for lavish vacations he took with Willis using the Fulton County funds his law firm received. County records show that Wade, who has played a prominent role in the election interference case, has been paid nearly $700,000, so on and so forth. The document offers no concrete proof of the romantic ties between Willis and Wade, but says sources close to both the special prosecutor and district attorney have confirmed they had an ongoing personal relationship. So these are all alleged. And I'm sure there's a good explanation for this and for the goings on. And Miss Willis and Mr. Wade are expected to respond formally to the court on charges of any improper relationship between the two, which may have clouded the case, and expect to respond by February. There's evidence that Mr. Wade, has met with the Biden administration on a few occasions and actually billed the Biden administration for legal fees. And Jim Jordan of the House Judiciary Committee has launched a formal investigation into the activities of Miss Willis and Mr. Wade. I understand that she received COVID funds, and she used some of those federal funds, earmarked some of those federal funds for legal fees to Mr. Wade. And so now there's questions whether she misappropriated federal funds. Here's an excerpt from a letter from Jim Jordan to Miss Willis. It says here, this is from January 12th. It says, today, House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan sent a letter to Nathan Wade, an associate of Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis, demanding documents and information about the coordination of the Fulton County District Attorney's Office with other politically motivated investigations and the potential misuse of federal funds. Although Fonnie Willis has so far refused to cooperate with the committee's oversight, invoices that Nathan Wade submitted for payment and made public as part of a court filing highlight this collusion. So there's questions of collusion between, the White House and Mr. Wade in terms of, in terms of potentially prosecuting one of Biden's main political opponent. And Newt Gingrich actually has some intel, which he says is unsubstantiated, that of this coordination as well. So I'm going to share my screen. This is from Newt Gingrich, who's the former Speaker of the House from back in the 90s. And people my age know how powerful he is, and his word still carries weight. So here goes.
That I am told, this is hearsay, but I am told by a reliable source that Friday evening, somebody from Washington called the district attorney in Atlanta and said, you have to indict on Monday. We have to cover up all of the mistakes we just made with Weiss. And she said, apparently, my jurors aren't coming back till Tuesday. And they said, you didn't hear me. You have to indict on Monday. And she said, well, they're not going to get here before noon. They said, it doesn't matter. She said, this means it's going to be 8 or 9 or 10 o'clock at night. They said,
Okay, so a few things. It's all allegations, and Mr. Wade and Ms. Willis will respond publicly, formally in a month. Let's say hypothetically there is an appropriate relationship between the two, and they may have to be removed from the case, or the case may have to be removed from Fulton County to someplace else. That still doesn't mean the case will be dismissed. If there's a legitimate legal claim against former President Trump, and these co-defendants, the case could still go forward. However, if there's proven to be some sort of pretext for an attempt by the Biden administration to stymie his political opponent, the whole case could be thrown out. Who knows? So this is getting very interesting and very deep. And I'm sure that Jim Jordan, the co-defendants, and the lawyers who assume these co-defendants have resources, will uncover every rock and will follow every lead to prove improprieties between the district attorney and the special prosecutor, and any connection between the special prosecutor and the Biden administration. And then here's another lady from the media who's saying that Mr. Wade, while he's prosecuting these people, is also trying to solicit them to defend them in court. If you can believe that. Here goes.
Nathan Wade, like I described, is not a very intelligent man. Here he is sending, after filing these charges, Fannie Willis, he sends the co-defendants these brochures, because normally he's a criminal defense attorney, right? So ultimately, he would be an option if these defendants wanted a lawyer. So he sent these mailers to their home, and it was received by Jeff Clark and David Schaefer. And ultimately, what these brochures are, if you aren't watching right now and you're listening, these brochures advertise his legal defense. So ultimately, he is looking to prosecute them, right? Because he's a special prosecutor. And then he's double dipping because he's also offering his services to be their defense attorney. And it's because we have documents like this, documents from David Schaefer, Jeff Clark, all these people who received these brochures from the man.
Again, this is all hearsay, and Mr. Wade has a right to defend himself, and these are additional allegations, and it's implying that as a prosecutor, he's also these people need legal defense. He's almost using state funds to find leads for its own private business, private practice, and maybe other people a part of that practice, and he's soliciting these defendants, to defend them in court. I wrote about similar arrangements in my book Shock Exchange, where I wrote about a guy by the name of Spencer Barash. Here it is right here. Probably the greatest book ever written. A guy by the name of Spencer Barash, who was a partner in the Fort Worth, Texas office of the SEC, who was investigating Alan Stanford for potential Ponzi scheme. The junior people in the Fort Worth office wanted to bring charges. Then investigators got it, wanted to bring charges against him. Spencer Barash, meanwhile, is warning Alan Stanford what the junior people are saying. Help him defend himself. He's telling them what the junior people are saying and helping Alan Stanford prepare a defense. And meanwhile, he's stymieing the junior people and stymieing the case and stymieing the investigation. And one of the people who wouldn't give it up, I think he had it transferred to another office. Then when charges were finally brought against Mr. Stanford, Spencer Barash quit the SEC and tried to represent Alan Stanford in court because he could make more money representing Alan Stanford than he could make working for the SEC. And the judge told him he couldn't do it. I mean, you couldn't make this up. So there's been a lot of this sort of nefarious behavior, but again, I mean, if all the goings on with Mr. Wade, this guy seems kind of squirrely to and pun intended, seems kind of squirrely, and I just find it hard to believe that Fonnie Willis would risk the most important case of her life by entrusting it with someone who she has a romantic relationship with, and it could be the appearance of some improprieties between her and Mr. Wade, which could potentially jeopardize the case. So it's going to be pretty interesting as this case proceeds. And this case again could have implications for the other cases, because if this case falls, it could have a domino effect where all of these cases may seem like they're just making spurious claims against former Trump, and it could be politically motivated. So that's Trump and the G. That's Trump prosecutor Nathan Wade got himself a gun. Thank you for listening. Thank you.